Shout out to Ring RQ, Julius, you legend. We're going to do a joint interview, yeah? Yeah, we'll do a joint interview, Julius. Thanks for the support. You're a legend. From your girls, Raven and Ellie.
Welcome to the motherfucking relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. A frustrated Ellie Scotney is working towards undisputed shot in January or February. London, England. Ring Magazine champion Ellie Scotney is expected to get her shot at undisputed in either January or February after she was forced to withdraw from a scheduled clash with Mayeli Flores through injury. Scotney, 11-0, currently holds the Ring Magazine, IBF, WBC, and WBO super bantamweight titles. She only needs to win Flores' WBA in order to become the youngest undisputed champion in British boxing history, but not only that, the inaugural undisputed champion. Of the four-belt era, there's never been one before. Upon the major four sanctioning bodies creating women's versions of their alphabet titles, which really wasn't that long ago, there are a lot of these weight classes in the women's game that have never had an undisputed champion. Super bantamweight is one of those weight classes, so whoever wins, they will be the first. Scotney was slated to get that chance on November 14th as part of the undercard for Jake Paul's exhibition contest with Gervonta Davis at the Kaseya Center in Miami until a back injury forced her to postpone. In hindsight, because that event is now scrapped as a result of Gervonta Davis's legal troubles and Jake Paul's next ring appearance is moved out to December, perhaps it's a blessing in disguise. Because even without the injury, Ellie would not have got to box Mayeli on the 14th. The 27-year-old, who's currently ranked number 10 on the Ring's pound-for-pound list, was left hurt and frustrated by the injury, but her trainer Shane McGuigan has confirmed that he expects the fight to be scheduled inside of the first 2 months of the coming calendar year. We're looking at the new year now, McGuigan told The Ring. I think her opponent had a mandatory, but I'm pretty sure that has all been postponed. So hopefully we can push the fight back to January or February. I think this one hurt her a little bit because of the magnitude of the event. There would have been a lot of eyeballs on the event and fight week. Press conferences, being around all of that would have been an amazing opportunity for her, which makes the injury even more frustrating. Until injury struck, Scotney could not have wished for a better 2025. Having successfully defended her titles against previously undefeated challenger Miyamoto in January, she then signed a career-defining deal with Paul's MVP, which kicked off a unification clash against then-champion Jaime Mercado, the longest reigning champion at Super Bantam at that time. Ellie easily won that fight. Will she easily win this one? That fight took place on the memorable all-female show headlined by Katie Taylor's third victory over Amandia Serrano at MSG on July 11th, and Scotney punctuated the event with a one-sided points win over Mercado to clinch a third alphabet title. McGuigan added, right now, this is a very frustrating time for Ellie, but at the same time, she had a great win against Mercado on the Netflix card, which got her great traction and the credit that she deserved. Now she can't get too disappointed and hung up about this injury because it's only a few extra months and she will do the same thing again. She is very frustrated because she wanted nothing more than to go and become undisputed on an event like that. She could probably train at 25 or 30% below optimal, and going into an undisputed fight, you can't do that to yourself. I know this is going to sound familiar, but the fight with Mayeli Flores may turn out to be the most difficult fight of Ellie's career because Mayeli, what she lacks in form and function, she makes up for in ferocity, in durability. She's been in there with punchers, big ones, bigger than Ellie Scotney, and they could not discourage her. They had to work around her because they couldn't stop her or stop her from coming forward. And I anticipate that's what Ellie's going to have to do. She's going to have to work around Mayeli Flores, bobbing and weaving under the looping punches, which I think would require a healthy back. Ellie is sporting a back injury she has to recover. Dealing with Mayeli Flores is going to be physical for Ellie, whether Ellie likes it or not. She's going to have to bob and weave under the looping punches, under the sweeping hooks, slip and counter, slip and hook to straight punches, roll and counter, all of which will require a lot of upper body movement from Ellie Scotney. So surely you can see how it would be less than ideal to go into a fight like that with a back injury. I'm telling you that it's a blessing in disguise because even without the back injury, Ellie's fight with Mayeli would have got pushed back anyway. The goal was to fight on the big Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul card that she felt would have a lot of eyes on it. Don't feel bad because it's not going to happen.
You didn't miss nothing.
Elsewhere in the world of boxing, the unfortunate news that Victor Conte, snack impresario, has died at age 75. His family announced on his social media. Conte revealed in June that he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and was undergoing chemotherapy treatment. Many elite fighters have credited Conte with developing advanced recovery and conditioning methods under his snack system. Victor meant a lot of different things to a lot of different people, more known for the Balco scandal many years ago. Having served his time and paid his debt to society, many years later, he became one of the most vocal advocates for anti-doping methods in the sport of boxing.
Reinventing himself.
Characterized by veteran boxing scribe Mike Coppinger's reaction, R.I.P. to Victor Conte, no matter what you thought of him, he meant a lot to many top fighters and was an advocate for anti-doping measures in boxing, even paying for it for many of his fighters. Terence Crawford, Caleb Plant, and Devin Haney, among the boxers he worked with extensively, and Conte was a great resource, always there to provide insight on how PEDs work to aid fighters. We will miss him.
Devin Haney expressed his condolences. I've seen several others do the same, where veteran domestic abuser Gervonta Davis had his own reaction, saying, "Today is a good day for boxing," via his Instagram stories. "No more snack for you bastards," highlighting a popular narrative in some boxing circles that Victor Conte didn't actually change his ways so much as refined his methods for providing fighters with PEDs. That's what some people thought, that's what Gervonta Davis thought, but it's really bad juju to go dancing on graves.
It is. He's already had one visit from Karma. I guess that he's shooting for another. After he already shot himself in the foot, costed himself millions upon millions of dollars with his serial domestic abuse. I saw Jake Paul take to his own social media posting, "Idiot. Idiot. Simply idiot." And I can't help but think that he was talking about Gervonta Davis.
He is pretty fucking stupid.
Word round the campfire is that anyone from Andre Ward to Francis Ngannou has been offered a fight with Jake Paul. Francis himself, after initial reports that Terence Crawford was offered the fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan won't be able to do it per Oscar De La Hoya. Don't know what Terence's stance on the whole thing is. Andre Ward, he's in the running, but so was Francis Ngannou, who had this to say.
What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's not. There's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. You know, the Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different can level up. But at this point, for me to, it make no sense.
Did they reach out though? We see a bunch of names that are out there as potential opponents. Did Jake's team reach out to you and at least express to see if you were interested?
Yes, Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta, and after I listened, I wasn't getting it. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? What exactly? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? He was like, yeah, can I like, can you like we think about you to fight Jake? I'm like, what? So we think about you to fight Jake to replace Gervonta. I'm like, who's Jake? You know, like I was so confused. You know, like I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul. You know, he's fighting, and I'm like, no, bro, come on, don't. I mean, don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like they even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you I'm not just interested. He make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested.
The fight made no sense. That's what I think.
I think Francis Ngannou should have took the fight. He hasn't done a whole lot since he lost to Tyson Fury and got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. He hasn't been up to much, but perhaps he made so much from those fights, he doesn't need to sell himself or sell his soul to Jake Paul. Sounds a lot like it didn't come down to money for Francis Ngannou, it came down to self-respect. Surprising, because there are so many boxers, active boxers within the boxing sphere, that would jump at the chance to box Jake Paul, where Francis said no. They said that Andre Ward is also in the running for the fight, but knowing Andre, he's gonna need 2 tune-ups first. Ain't that what he told Gennady Golovkin when HBO tried to make the fight with them? I remember. But I also remember not that long ago, Andre Ward threw his name in the hat for a Jake Paul fight, saying that he'd be willing to do it. Well, now's your chance. This is your opportunity. Andre Ward has been out of the ring for about 8 years as of 2017, though not but a few months ago, he was talking about fighting Anthony Joshua, how he would like to come back and fight Anthony Joshua. I remember that. We talked about it here on the channel. You figure that if a guy says he's ready for Anthony Joshua, then surely he's ready for a Jake Paul, as Jake is no Anthony Joshua, given that Andre Ward is an Olympic gold medalist and a 2-time unified champion, a 2-weight world champion. If you were ready to fight Anthony, fighting Jake should be easy. Yeah, but he ain't boxing 8 years and he's 41 years old. That's even more in keeping with the decorum. That's what you expect from Jake Paul. You expect him to fight older guys, mature guys. I mean, he fought Anderson Silva. He was in his 40s. Mike Tyson was in his 50s, late 50s. To where a 41-year-old Andre Ward is not a far cry from what you normally get from Jake. Maybe it happens. Right now we know who's out of the running. Ryan Garcia is out of the running. Francis Ngannou is out of the running. Took himself out of the running. But that still leaves Terence Crawford and Andre Ward. Andre might do it. Though even if he does, in terms of marquee value, relevance, popularity, those things, Andre Ward has never really been all that popular. Even at the height of his popularity in the Super 6 tournament, he was still in the shadow of Manny Pacquiao, in the shadow of Floyd Mayweather. And when he came back, he was in the shadow of Gennady Golovkin, the shadow of Canelo, and what was their fight. Andre Ward has never been that big a draw, never been that big a ticket seller. You can like his boxing, you can love it. But in terms of marquee value, I wouldn't say he's an adequate substitute, though. On this kind of notice, he'll have to do.
I think that's just clickbait. Mentioning Andre Ward is just clickbait. There's no way, because Andre's been talking too much about coming back at times. He hedges at it. He may never come back. I mean, Andre's been teasing it the whole time.
Right.
He may never come back, but Andre teases it just enough, consistently enough, that you got to worry that he's in the gym on the side and actually getting in shape. So therefore, doing a training camp isn't far-fetched if they push the fight back and it's a 6-week training camp. It wouldn't be far-fetched anymore if he's keeping in mild shape on his own, because he teases a comeback enough to where you have to at least think, this guy might be in the gym 3 days a week just on his own, not saying nothing. You know what I mean? So therefore, a 6-week training camp to get ready for Jake Paul, piece of cake.
That's the danger for Jake. That it may seem like short notice for Andre Ward, but what if Andre's been training all this time? He's been teasing at a potential return. What if he's been in the gym? What he's walking around at now, it's got to be 200 and change. I hardly think he's walking around at his old fight weight of 175. And you know how that affects things? The fight with Gervonta Davis, due to the discrepancy in weight, because Gervonta really is a lightweight and Jake really is a cruiser, they had to build that as a hybrid fight, hybrid pro. They literally had to come up with a special category for a commission to allow it, whereas with Andre, you don't have to come up with any special categories for it. Hybrid pro? No, just pro. Be a pro fight. Andre's likely weighing in as a cruiser right now, the same as Jake, and given his level of experience, this is nothing for him. It's also important to note that 2 of the undercard fights have already popped up on the IBF's schedule, set for December 14th. the Baumgartner versus Boudoir fight, and the Shernika Johnson versus Amanda Gaye fight have both appeared on the IBF's website. So we know when Jake Paul's next fight is going to land and how much time that would give Andre Ward, theoretically, to get ready. That's more than enough time to get ready for a novice boxer with only a few fights.
You wonder that Jake shouldn't just get Tommy Fury on the phone and do the rematch on short notice. Catch him with his pants down. Tommy Fury hasn't been up to much lately.
I think he stands a better chance of beating Tommy in a rematch than beating Andre Ward under these circumstances. For Andre Ward, this exhibition or whatever it is with Jake would likely get him more money than what he made boxing Sergey Kovalev. There is a legitimate argument that was the biggest fight of Andre Ward's career, the two Sergey Kovalev fights, except that those fights didn't generate much at the box office. Something in the neighborhood of 150 to 170.
170,000 pay-per-views sold, which really isn't a lot.
Andre likely got a nice-sized guarantee, but virtually no pay-per-view upside, as there wasn't one. So it's entirely possible that he stands to make more boxing Jake in a circus fight than what he made in a real one.
You should take it.
If it's on offer, and Andre Ward has been getting ready behind the scenes, not telling nobody nothing, he should take it. He should hurry up and take it. It's been about 3 or 4 years since Andre Ward was let go from the ESPN commentary team. So that's one arm of revenue that he's not getting. I don't imagine he can make up for it in book sales. Not at a time where print is a dying medium and everybody's gone digital. Streaming is all the rage. He does have a rather successful YouTube channel where he does interviews, podcasts of his own, and the metrics for those interviews are usually pretty good, but I don't think that by itself is a substitute for the ESPN money or the money that he used to make when he was fighting.
This fight with a novice social media influencer who moonlights as a boxer could put him ahead of the game quite a few million. And because it's on short notice, that also works to Andre Ward's advantage. When Ryan Garcia has been taken out of the running, Francis Ngannou has taken himself out of the running.
If the fight is on offer to Andre Ward, he should take it. Though it's the funniest thing. Did they offer Clarissa Shields the fight?
My God.
Dear God, what?
What?
Since late 2020, this broad has been talking about how she'd beat Jake Paul, how she'd knock out Jake Paul. For the last 5 going on 6 years, Clarissa has campaigned for that fight. So why not give her what she wants?
Because no commission would sanction it, because it wouldn't be allowed. Be serious.
I am serious. You don't have to bill the fight as a legitimate fight that counts towards either fighter's record. What you can do is bill it as a high-profile sparring session. Set some ground rules. There's nothing written anywhere that says that a man can't spar a woman. A lot of women boxers spar men all the time in preparation for their fights, and it's not written anywhere that you can't record it, that you can't broadcast said sparring session. It's doable.
Crazy enough that it might work, and there's so much bad blood between them that if you did it, you know it might actually get more attention than an Andre Ward fight.
Be serious.
I am serious. If they decided to do Jake Paul versus Clarissa Shields, the sparring session, not the boxing match, they could get away with it, and they could broadcast it now. I don't know how much Netflix would be on board for that, but it'd definitely get attention, I know that.